Hello and welcome to my video all about how to knit the horseshoe cable. One pattern repeat creates one horseshoe shape, and the great thing about it is that it's a great building block for cables. The reason for this is that the horseshoe cable can be knit in either direction. So you can knit two horseshoe shapes back to back to create an X shape, or you can knit these horseshoe shapes in a different order and create a globe or ring shape instead. So you could make a cable that's all globe shapes, or a cable that's all crosses, or you could alternate the globes and crosses to make a cute hugs and kisses design. As you can see, it's a versatile pattern, and even better, it's also simple to knit. For this demonstration, I've cast on 12 stitches, which will give me a narrow column of reverse stockinette stitch either side of the cable. These columns will be 2 stitches wide, so the actual cable will be 8 stitches wide. It's a 6-row pattern repeat, and I'm going to knit for you a globe shape. So first I'm going to do the variation of the horseshoe cable that is upright and therefore looks like a wine glass. Row 1 represents the right side or the front of the knitting, and we begin with 2 purl stitches. We then take the working yarn to the back and do 8 knit stitches. Then we bring the yarn to the front and do 2 purl stitches. Then we're on to row number 2, which represents the wrong side or the back of the knitting. The pattern for this row is the same as it will be for every other even numbered row in this pattern, and all we need to do is knit the knits and purl the purls. To do this, basically we look at how the stitches look right next to the needle. We can see that the first 2 and the last 2 stitches have little V shapes of yarn, and the central 8 stitches have bumps of yarn instead. The stitches with the bumps are purls, and the stitches with the V shapes are knit stitches. We therefore begin with 2 knit stitches, then 8 purl stitches, and then 2 knit stitches. We then repeat the 2 rows that we've just done. So instead of walking you through those again, I'm just going to put the pattern for them up on screen now. As you can see, the pattern so far creates a flat piece of stockinette stitch with reverse stockinette at either side. And now we're on to row number 5, which is the cable row. We begin with 2 purl stitches. We then need to do a C4B cable, which is a cable that's worked over 4 stitches and is a back cross cable. This means that it leans to the right. So we take our cable needle and slip 2 stitches purlwise onto it. Then leave the cable needle at the back behind your needles. Then knit 2 stitches off the left hand needle, and then knit 2 stitches off the cable needle by just using the cable needle like you would use the left hand needle. We then need to do a C4F cable, which again is worked over 4 stitches but is a front cross cable instead. This means that it leans to the left. So we use the cable needle to pick up 2 stitches purlwise and leave the cable needle at the front. Then knit 2 stitches, and then knit the 2 stitches off the cable needle. And then to finish the row, we purl 2. Then for the final row, row number 6, we do exactly the same as row number 2, i.e. knit the knits and purl the purls. So that's knit 2, purl 8, and knit 2. So as you can see, that pattern repeat has created a horseshoe that's the right way up, and I think looks like a wine glass. Now, to complete the globe, I'm going to do a horseshoe in the other direction. So I'll be knitting an upside down horseshoe. To do this, the only row that changes is the cable row. So I'm going to put the pattern for the first 4 rows up on screen now. And then I'm just going to show you the row that changes, which is row number 5. We begin with 2 purl stitches. Whereas previously we did a C4B and then a C4F, this time we're going to start with the C4F. So we pick up 2 stitches with the cable needle and keep the cable needle at the front. Then knit 2 stitches, and then we knit the stitches off the cable needle. So that makes a left leaning cable, and now we're going to do a right leaning C4B. So we pick up 2 stitches with the cable needle and leave the needle at the back. Then knit 2 from the left hand needle and then 2 from the cable needle. And then we purl 2 to finish. Row 6 is the same as in the previous pattern, which is the same as row 2. So I'm just going to put the pattern for row number 6 up on screen now. And that's it, we've now finished knitting 2 repeats of the horseshoe cable in 2 different orientations. As I said before, you can combine these together to create a variety of patterns. I've also knit a few repeats in a lighter weight yarn, just for comparison purposes. As you can see, the cables are a lot daintier, but to be honest, I much prefer it in a chunkier yarn. I really hope this video has been helpful to you, and thank you very much for watching.